All right, Mike Brenner, the segment we're doing right now, we're taking a look at the pitching money returns for the major leagues. This is just how teams have done in the starts of the various pitchers in the major leagues. I have the top 20 right here, going down the list, the top 20, some familiar names. Number one, maybe slightly surprising, is Chris Tillman. He's good. He's good.
He has quietly been under the radar. And when he was really picking up steam early, that's when their bats were clicking. Now their bats have not been clicking. I'm anxious to see how Tillman does the rest of the way.
Something's up with Baltimore. Something tells me that at some point they're going to start picking it up.
I think honestly, I think the starting infield ended up at the Del Rey in Costa Rica for real and came back all messed up. They've never been the same.
Then number two, we've been on a lot of this guy, Michael Fulmer, right? We've been on him. Going forward, though, I'm just not. I'm a believer in him, but I'm just not a believer in Detroit.
I'm not a believer in the bats behind him.
So I don't know. I would expect him. I'm not saying he's going to give fade, but maybe even money going forward.
And Pete, I got to throw this out there. When you have a young pitcher like him that starts out red hot and gets that confidence and has the bats along the way that helps him get that confidence.
Of course.
When those bats stop, does something get in his head mentally, thinking, I mean, it could.
Yeah, I don't know if something gets in his head mentally, but just based on the odds stay inflated. And the bats aren't there to get to cash with him.
Spot to look at the.
Then number 3s, 4, and 5s. Danny Duffy. We've talked about him. He's under the radar. Yep. J.A. Happ. You cashed with him today, so he probably moves up. He probably moves ahead of Duffy. And Dan Straley, number 5, who's been pitching well.
He's on the mound tomorrow.
Fluky. So you have anything to say about any of those guys?
Well, Straley, I was looking because again, there's a guy that doesn't have a really strong team behind him. I mean, he'll have some spots, but he figures it out himself. I like him. I would say backing him, even with I mean, I don't know. I don't look for him to have 5 or 6 runs to get the win. He could be a 2-0 guy.
Yeah, J.A. Happ. I don't know. Judgment call. Do you think that continues?
3 home runs he gave up today. All right, but guess what? Besides the 3 home runs he gave up, and thank God they were all solo shots. All right, he looked pretty damn good. 1 walk, 10 Ks. But those 3 home runs concerns me at this point in the season. J.A. Happ wore out 2 years in a row when he was with Philadelphia in the run when they really needed it. I'm sticking back, but I'm grateful today I cashed with him. But Pete, I got to watch that.
Right, I agree with you. The thing about him though is he does have a lineup that can bail him out on more than a few occasions.
And he knows that.
So looking down the rest of the top 20, a few names that jump out at me as maybe starting pitchers who will continue to be profitable. Rick Porcello for Boston is number 7. He's up about 10.5 units on the year, and I mean, as long as he's serviceable, he's probably going to continue to be profitable, right? With that lineup, right?
I agree. With that lineup, it's everything now. Had he been with the club he used to be with in Detroit, we'd be saying no on that one.
Right, and then similarly, Cole Hamels at number 13. He's up almost 9 units, just shy of 9 units. Same deal. If he's good or even just serviceable, probably going to be profitable, right?
I got to throw this out there, Pete. They
of
course.
Yeah,
And here's why. Here's why. They just now increased their bat. I mean, you got LaCroix, you got Beltran. These guys are hitting their asses off. I think he's going to get better because, and again, when he was in Philadelphia, second half of the season, he would crank it up. That's when he would really, really just take it to a different level, a different notch. So I look for him to do the same.
Here we go. Number 9. I think I know what you're going to say about this. Number 9, Steven Strasburg at plus 10 units. You're expecting him to take a dive.
I am, Pete, and I'm not because I had him on my video today. And bottom line, that team's capable of coming back from that league because the part they're in. But this guy now has 4 starts in a row where it's not right. Something's wrong, and I think somebody needs to sit him down and they figure out, is this because before he 15 wins I think he has already this year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Something happened. He says there's nothing physical. So what is it?
Well, we have seen this before from Strasburg in his career where he's like awesome for parts of the year, but then has problems, and sometimes it is physical. I suspect that it is physical.
He might be hiding, or they might be. Who knows?
He's got a power arm, and if he loses a little bit of strength, I mean, I'm going to go check his velocity numbers. I haven't read any reports on his velocity going down, but I also haven't looked into it. If his velocity is down or if his location is a little bit off, the whole house of cards of them can start to unravel. And again, we have seen him have injury issues before in his career. It's hard to do what he does at that level of exertion for an entire season. So,
and let's not forget, they wore this kid's arm out in high school. In high school, they wore this kid's arm out.
Yeah, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you that he might be vulnerable going forward. I'm just saying that a start at Coors is not part of the equation.
I know, and that I get, Pistol Pete. That I get.
All right, is there anything else?
I just really think that I think Arrieta's going to get a little more solid again. He had his little bump in the road. I think he's recovered from that. I think that extra little rest he's getting now, they gave him a couple extra days in the last few weeks. that batting order back to speed. Their injuries, look for him. Look for Arrieta because of the bats behind him and his domination. I think he's going to continue to cash too. Pistol Pete, I can't wait for football.
According to my records, he's not in the top 20. I wonder where he is.
I know, but
I'm
cashing with him.
At any rate, that's our overview of the top most profitable pitchers in baseball as of today, August 17th.
That's right. Have a great day.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.